You know what? If you win the morning, you win the day. Here are my 10 things that I do every morning before 10 o'clock. The first one might surprise you. The morning actually starts the night before. So if you want to optimize your morning, go to bed before 10 o'clock the night before. I've always thought that Cinderella's big problem wasn't the stepsisters or the stepmother. It was that she stayed out too late at night. My grandmother, we called her Boogie, which I always thought was a great name for a grandmother, used to say that nothing good happened to a girl after 10 o'clock at night. And you know what? Boogie was absolutely correct. If you go to bed about 10 o'clock, you'll wake up naturally about 6 in the morning, maybe even a little before. I've got something to say. I have not used an alarm clock for years, except on the rare occasions, like when I'm flying out early in the morning and I'm got to make I've got to get up at 4 or something completely insane. But if you go to bed about 9 or 10, you're going to wake up naturally early in the morning. And the cool thing about waking up without an alarm, I don't want the first sound that I hear every morning to be a nag. I don't want the first sound that comes into my head to be this beeping mechanical thing. I want to wake up naturally. And I sit up and, stretch like, I guess I've got Disney on my mind, like a Disney heroine, and birds alight on my shoulders and woodland animals come to my window seeking an apple. Well, maybe not all that, but I do wake up on my own, and that's because I go to bed early the night before. The second thing, I make my bed. I want to start the day with a win, even if it's a small win. And it's really great to have the first thing you do is you're imposing your will on some small task and getting it checked off. And maybe it's not that small. I don't think things like this are a matter of discipline. I hate the words willpower and discipline. I don't think they exist. I don't think that you get where you want to be by making yourself do things that you don't want to do, because no one can make themselves do things they don't want to do indefinitely. I think what you have to do is change what you want to do. And the easiest way I've found to do that is to forget about the verb and claim the noun. I'm not going to write today. I'm a writer. I'm not going to exercise today. I'm an athlete. I claim the noun. And I want to be a person who lives in an ordered environment. That's why making the bed matters to me. Not that I should do it, but because I want to be someone who lives in a place that's pleasant and organized. And that is something that I value. So it's not a matter of discipline. It's a matter of being really clear on your priorities and just kind of claiming the noun. Third thing, I drink a glass of water. You're dehydrated over the night, so that just makes sense. And the fourth thing, few simple stretches. The places where I tend to get tight are my pecs and my quads. So I try to stretch those every morning. It's just two more little votes for the kind of person that I want to be. And after that arduous 5 minutes of making the bed and stretching and drinking a glass of water, I also, of course, do the other necessities. Uh, I go on to the fifth thing, which is pure pleasure. I pour my cup of coffee. I call Thad. Who am I kidding? He's usually waiting at the door. And we come out here to this garden and I do my morning journaling and drink my coffee outside because I think it's super important to get sun on your face first thing in the morning. It kind of resets, your circadian rhythm. It kind of signals to you. You get light in the eyes. It's a mood booster. It just really gets me kind of revved up and in a great mood. You hear the birds. You hear the traffic, you hear the traffic and the birds, but you're kind of out in nature, at least in this very small way. So I think that's a terrific way to start the morning is just by having my coffee outside. I am so lucky to live at a place where the herb garden and the flower garden are like right outside my patio. So it's just like 5 steps out. Sometimes to the delight of my neighbors, I come in my nightgown. Number 6, I have a high protein breakfast, usually an omelet. I've done a whole video about the importance of having protein first thing in the morning, and I'll link it in the comments. So I eat and then I go for a short walk along with that around the neighborhood, 10 or 15 minutes. I've made videos on both these subjects. It's always amazing to me how much of my well being is tied to the same needs that a 1 year old would have. If I can just basically sleep and poop and eat and walk, it's a really good start to the day. When I get back from my walk, the eighth thing is a biggie. I do the most important task of that day, especially if it's a creative or an intellectual task. Part of that is just, like I said, I'm a morning person. I think more clearly in the morning. If I'm going to do anything that requires, firing synapses in my brain, it needs to happen before 10 o'clock. But it's not just that. It's also that people don't tend to call you at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. If you can resist the urge to look at social media, it's actually the time of the day before the world crashes in on you. You're not handed someone else's to-do list. You're not kind of other people's agendas and problems don't cave in on you. So those first morning hours are, in my opinion, absolutely gold in every way. They are your chance to really make progress on what matters. So I'm a writer. I write in the morning. If I'm working on this, I'll record in the morning when I can. It's morning now, and that's the time of day that you do the thing that you want to have 100% of your focus, both in the sense you're most mentally alert and also in the sense other people aren't going to be able to interrupt you. So get it done now. Once you do that, you're bulletproof, baby. You're golden. You've done the most important thing, and you did it early. Number 9, I head out to Lifetime and do my group exercise class. I'm part of the Aurora group. That's the exercises aimed at people over 65. Most of those classes are at 8:39, 9:30, 10 in the morning. And so I get up and get my exercise first thing. Not everybody's like this, but if I say, oh, I'm going to exercise in the afternoon or the evening, it just doesn't happen. I don't do it. I am one of those people who goes straight downhill in the course of the day. I know this about myself. So it's also important, if I'm going to do a lift class or I'm going to do the pool class or something, that I do it in the morning. That way, again, kind of like the work, it's done. Feels great. Now, because all of these tasks, or at least most of these tasks, are so simple, and because they're so completely within my control, this means that I have 10 things done by 10 o'clock in the morning. And after that, starts the social time of my day. It's one of the days I'm walking the rescue dogs, which I do 2 days a week. That's when I do that. If I'm going to call friends, if I'm going to run errands, a lot of times my social life revolves having lunch with people. I really enjoy going out to lunch. That's when I do my big meal of the day. That's when I have my dance lessons. My in the world social time tends to be between like 11 and 4 because, other people do matter, just not before 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's it. I hope this was helpful for you. If so, please subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what's your best time of day. When do you get up? How do you feel in the morning? Are you more of a morning person or an evening person? Um, I think it's kind of innate. I think it's inborn, but I'm interested in other people's rituals. This is what works for me, though. 10 before 10, and the world is my oyster. This is Kim with Getting Bolder. Thanks a lot.